over smashed the rear end.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the wrong track bar? And, I mean, I know there's a sway bar on there, but isn't there usually a sway bar on 8.8s? No? Okay.
And a lot of the guys even on the running the Dana 35 still, they don't run.
Not that I would want one really, particularly, I mean, in the back, because it's kind of, you know, I never had them on my Broncos, you know, took them off. But.
Yeah, so for any kind of wheeling, the sway bar just pretty much gets in the way.
So what they do, just not put it on right, or didn't do geometry correctly, or?
I think they probably used the original Trackbar for the Jeep, and the mount is now in a different place because it's an 8.8, so now the Trackbar is probably too long to one side. We need to make a shorter one, that way it draws it over.
Do you think that's
so here's the thing is that when they first put that lift on, I
measured where they welded, and they're lift off from the backing plate on each side.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way 8.8s are built, the driver's side axle is always longer than, or vice versa, I can't remember now. I think it's, one axle is longer than the other because they build the pumpkin off-center on the Ford 8.8s.
Well, I had a question. Here it is. I got that lift kit put on, and went to pick it up. And I obviously didn't test drive it over 55 miles an hour because I left to go to the event the next morning and told Mike I was in a rush, and he had it, went ahead and had it ready to go. And supposedly took off on the highway and he started just vibrating like crazy, you know. So I backed down and started to get up again, started vibrating like crazy. Well, it was great at the event, no problem. Over here, just down in Clinton Lake, you know, Fraternal Order Police property there. Had no problem, and on the drive back, I had to just barely ease it back. Left it with them for a week. It did something to it. It smelled like they'd been torching, you know. I don't know what then the vibration was pretty much gone. Then I have what I have now. But the one before was just horrendous, man. And after that, my transmission was just making all kinds of noises. And
it was probably,
I'm just trying to figure out what they did between why it was in shop for what, you know, they only worked on it for one day because it sat out front for a week, and then they worked on it one day before I picked it up, and it smelled like just crazy, like torch, you know. And then the main vibration was gone. And I'm trying to figure out what could have been.
that I couldn't tell you. I can tell you part of what the vibration is now is the slip yoke is just it's shot.
Right,
so,
I gotcha.
Basically, normally what we do is we send them down to truck parts.
Right, that's what
and
Derek told me.
They're going to cut the yokes off and build you a whole new drive.
Right on, okay.
Because once that slip yoke goes bad like
and that was part of the quote you guys did?
I think so.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable then. I was already pretty impressed with you guys' quote as is.
Yeah, I think so. I'll double check.
That's fine either way. Still, I understand.
All you need to do is
so I bet
shorten the track bar up. Get an adjustable track bar, probably about 2 inches shorter. That way we can adjust it, and we push the Jeep over, and once we put the bolts in, it should be fairly close. It might still be off a little bit, but it's definitely going to be a lot closer than what it is now.
Right. So if this little ball thing in the CD thing was stuck, you know, I've heard a couple people telling me this, you know, that it could have heated it up, and that would have been an explanation of what I would have smelled, and the fact that it would have released that. Is that something feasible in your mind? I'm taking this on, you know, maybe, yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Because I'm just trying to figure out how it went from this shit ass vibration, dude, like I mean, like a high, you know, not a thump, but a prrrr, you know, and then they took it in, they welded on it, torched it, I'm sure, and then all of a sudden it goes to the vibration I have now, which is tolerable in my mind, other than the fact, you know, you guys figured out what I'm going to take to get to where I can drive it and wheel it now. But I'm not fully finding anything, hearing anything that's going to tell me what happened from there to there. But at least you tell me what I got to do to fix it.
And then if you, down here, here's your track bar mount. We do the same thing on our lift kits that they come with. You just drill another hole. Well, that bolt has been moving around,
that makes sense.
It walled the hole out, so your front end's bouncing back and forth.
You guys, need some on the exhaust?
Yes. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Just prop it up there, it'll kind of stay. If you have it somewhat level.
Bolts that were holding the manifold, the pipe to the manifold, both of them broke off.
Right.
So I just put two.
Can you believe it was quiet?
Yeah, crazy. They weren't quite completely broke off. They were just enough that exhaust was bouncing around down there.
It's like too little to.
Yeah, we got in there and we were like, wow.
I couldn't understand that.
Right on. All right. Well, that's pretty reasonable, guys. I'm not going wheeling it anyway until I get that rear end thing taken care of. But that helps me relieve part of what's going on. Because you know, when I took that in there, I got these components put on, you know, over the years. I've had this for since 2000. The year after it was, I said, it was 1998. I've had this, and I wanted to get it to be like a Rubicon. I bought the you know, the slip yoke, the correct, all the parts to get there, and it just, part of it's got beat the shit out of it on the way. But that helps give me some. Okay, cool. Well, that's real reasonable.
Yeah, that total price was the Trackbar, Driveshaft.
It's like $800, man. Get that, all the brackets fixed and repositioned correctly, right, or whatever. Is that right? To get that put together right?
That's just Trackbar.
Oh, just Trackbar. Okay, what if I gotta get it? What should you do to get that right? Get that straightened out correctly.
We probably won't do that.
Okay. That's fine. I understand that. So do you think here? What I need is an honest opinion. Was it put in to the point where I need to take it out and put the brackets back in correctly?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
so
think with a shorter track bar would probably be alright. Because the angle the drive shaft's at now, because of how far off it is a little bit where your vibration's coming from. If we center it up a little bit better, it's still going to be at a slight angle, just because, like I said, one axle is always longer than the other. But it definitely will make it better.
All right. Well, that tells me enough. I don't know how much I'll get out of Mike out of that equation, but my wife's a good. I don't know. She'll get something out of it for it, and then we'll come up and get it done. Maybe toot my wife get around a little bit. Plug it with it. We've had to hit that for the season. Yeah. I know it's heavy because I don't want to do it with it. Go out and wheel it. Well, let me